The Manipura chakra is the third of the chakras, the 7 chakras. So we have Muladhara at the base and Swadhisthana in the pelvis and Manipura at the navel center. We're looking at the physical body. The name itself reveals a lot about the attributes of this particular chakra. So Mani means gem and Pura, city. So city of gems is usually how it's translated. But the Mani is a very special gem in the literature of the yoga tradition. And it conveys the sense of imbibing the person with insight, knowledge, intuitive wisdom. So there's a feeling of an inner illumination is associated with this word of Mani, a seeing beyond the ordinary, beyond the realm of the senses. Interestingly enough, though, the cognitive sense that's associated with Manipura chakra is sight. So it's the physical eyesight and the eyes and the fire in the eyes. Fire is the element here. But also on the subtler levels, insight, intuition, discrimination, and inner illumination, if you think about it in that way. The fire element, of course, is also associated with or responsible for transformation. So the obvious activity governed by Manipura chakra is digestion, the fire of digestion, and it governs the whole digestive tract, the little small intestine, and the liver and pancreas and the organs associated with digestion. So the transformation of the raw materials of the environment into, that we call food, into the elements that make up the physical body and energy is the process that's taking place here at the gross level. But if we think about it also on the subtle level, there's a digestion, assimilation, etc., of ideas and impressions. So it's also the fire that allows us to assimilate and comprehend and make sense of and build a view of the world, if you will. So this power of transformation and assimilation that is governed or is available to us through the Manipura chakra is essential in, one, our physical health, partly because much of the physical disorders we have originate with a faulty digestion. So when something goes wrong in your system, digestion is one of the first places that's affected, even if it's not the origin, but it's often even the origin of various ailments. So the capacity to maintain and sustain physical health is really initiated or supported by the energy of the Manipura system. So in that sense, the physical body, the health of the physical body is, this is the place to work with that. And then because it's also the energetic, the center that creates energy, it's a pranic hub of the body, then it becomes important for creating vitality and all of the things that go along with that, the zest for life, the capacity or the energy actually to carry out the activities that we're motivated to do to meet our desires, essentially. So for the sense of healing of the physical body and of the mental body and also of the inner healing of the more subtle aspects of our psyche, this is the place to start with working with that. It also, therefore, becomes the center for which we begin with spiritual practice. The lower two centers, which are governed by Manipura, the root center, Muladhara, the pelvic center, Swadhisthana, are very powerful, but also very dark in a sense that they're very much concerned with the instinctive nature and the kind of raw materials of energy, the raw life force. Manipura is a center that allows us to begin to see in that context and therefore have the vitality, the courage, the enthusiasm, the capacity for beginning to transform the the base elements of our nature, or the kind of forward momentum we have as a result of our vitality, into a more expansive state of awareness, into greater sight. It's just something a little beyond just our individual needs and concerns. So this power transformation, which is so essential in spiritual practice, because that's what spiritual practice is in many ways. It's transformation. It's inner healing, it's self-empowerment, and those are really the issues at Manipura. So the Navel Center is the beginning point of our spiritual practice. And it's also, in terms of yoga practice, the easiest access into the physical body, into awareness of the physical body, into being able to work with the pranic energy or the life force of the physical body. So it becomes the focal point, really, particularly of the Hatha yoga practices, of which most of us are mostly familiar with. This spiritual capacity for transformation then involves a kind of an expansion of awareness and consciousness that comes from having a certain level of mastery of this center. And if you think about, that's related to sight, insight, discrimination, and inner vision, outer vision, and so on. And also, as we've said, to vitality and health. But it's also related to this sense of self-empowerment and the psychological aspects of things that are connected to this center might be understood in terms of with an excess of energy here, you're aggressive in a way. It's the kind of eat the world syndrome that over energetic this center would be. And a lack of energy here, in addition to being kind of dull at every level, is there's a passivity. So with an excess of energy, there's the failure or the inability to regulate the kind of selfish, self-centered needs or desires of the lower centers. And with a lack of energy or deficiency here, not only perhaps meant our physical poor health, lack of vitality, but also the inability to get our needs met, the inability to assert ourselves in the world. So rather than being controlling and overly aggressive, we tend to be unable to stand up for ourselves. And that is true, maybe failure to meet our physical needs, but also the inability to meet all the other needs we have that are more subtle, psychological. So this kind of passive-aggressive dichotomy is one of the things that needs to be negotiated when working with this center at the psychological level. And the outcome of having balance here, of course, would be assertive. In other words, being able to get your needs met, whether they're the physical needs associated with biological drives and so on, but also being able to regulate your interactions and your ego-driven needs in the world as well, and your self-development and growth being done in a balanced way that allows you to grow in the world in every aspect as well, spiritually. So, important center to start with, and one that a lot of our yoga practices address.